All right, guys. So we're back. I did record a couple other videos after the last one. I'm not sure which order I'm gonna do them in. I was having some issues with crashing, and I got that sorted out, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But we got a load here. We're gonna be taking from Quincy, Illinois, over to Rockford, Illinois. Excuse me. So we got some forklifts here. At least that looks what they look like, and we're gonna run that. So we're just going to be kind of checking out Illinois. Now I'm going to show you the map real quick. Well, actually, I'm going to show you the main menu first. So Illinois released, but there is no event for it. They made a post here a while back. I don't remember the exact date. I think it was last month sometime, that they were going to be doing no events for a little while. They were trying to get other back end stuff taken care of first. So there's that. And so there's no events. And I have been cruising around over here today. Of course, now it's 11 something at night. So I'll show you kind of what I've done so far, give you an idea. So this is pretty much Illinois here. Started down here in Cape and took a load out to East St. Louis and had some issues. After that, I took a load over here. I was going somewhere here in Effingham. I think I was going out to this place. I'm not 100% sure. Anyhow, when I got to this exit right here, about where the marker is, I went to exit and the game crashed. And I'm like, what in the world's going on here? So I restarted the game, and as soon as I jumped in the truck, it froze up and then it crashed again. So I did a little bit of playing around and research. I opened up another profile I had with no mods in it. It started adding mods one by one, trying to figure it out. And it ended up being one of my mods. It was one of my paid mods, so it took a little bit of time to get it figured out. So after I figured it out, I just started running other loads. I ended up being back in East St. Louis, so I just kind of ran around some different places: Springfield, back down to Effingham, over to through Champaign. I've been up in Chicago. That's pretty cool up there. I went to a underground warehouse thing, which is right here. And that was pretty neat, kind of confusing getting in and out of there, but I made it work. So, but for right now, we got this load going to Rockford, going up here. I've already discovered it too. So I've already discovered several cities. I still got, I think 1, 2, 3, I think there's just 4 or 5 more left for me to discover. So, but anyhow, enough yakking about that. Let's go ahead and get this truck fired up and going. Let's go ahead and get my stuff back. Hope everybody's doing pretty good. Like I said, I was on here earlier today, in between issues with the mods, getting aggravated with it. I ended up not doing a whole lot. I mean, I did, but I didn't. I was more testing after a while, and then I got tired. Still my same usual stuff. My feet have been giving me problems again, so it's gotten to where I get on here and I'll play around for a while, and either my right ankle starts killing me because of on and off the throttle and brake opening when I go around to open up stuff, or my feet just start doing the pins and needles and throbbing and all that BS. So it's just kind of how it is, guys. So I'm just doing things as I can do things. But so far, Illinois seems to be pretty nice. Once I got my mods kind of sorted out, I been riding around and it's been a lot smoother, but it hasn't been perfect. Now I have my frame rates locked at 60. I don't see any point in going over 60. I know some people like to have 120, 140. Turn right. You know, they say the naked eye can't see the difference from 60 up. So I guess maybe it's nice having those high numbers, and that way when it dips you don't really notice it. But I'm at times the worst I've gotten before the DLC thing, it was going down into the 30s at times, and now I've seen as low into the 50s, and I think I saw like high 40s in my frames. So it's improved. It's better, and I'm probably just gonna have to make some more tweaks. But I'm running a lot of mods too, so right. My mod folder has, I think, 47 mods in it. So yeah, I've got a little bit too many mods, to be honest. So, and what sucks is it's the wrecker mod that is giving issues, and I was on their Discord, and this is no bashing to the modders or anything like that. It's just when updates happen, the modders have to get their updates going, and sometimes it takes us users that use those mods to find hiccups and issues with them. But after I pulled that mod out and seen that it felt like everything was okay, I went back over to New Mexico. Now I've got 2 more videos already recorded, and I'm not sure what order. I really want to get this one out tonight or tomorrow morning. I got 2 more videos in front of this, so it might get a little jobbled. But the last video before this video, I was taking a load from, I think it was Lubbock, Texas, down to El Paso, Texas, and it had me going, you know, through New Mexico, which is fine. So it's an easy run and all that good stuff. So I was riding along through there, and I wanted to get fuel because the truck was getting pretty low on fuel. So I ended up getting off course to go over to a fuel stop, and so I really want to open that road up that we were already on. So I just went ahead and backtracked. It wasn't that far, so I could open that road. I took off down the road, and I got a bit down the road as I was coming back into town. I got to almost to a speed limit sign. I think it was the going from 60 to probably 50 or something like that coming into town, and all of a sudden the game just locked up, and then it crashed. And it was on the middle of my video, and it took a couple of retries to continue that trip. I ended up doing another recording that I ended up deleting because I basically restarted the game, started recording, and it put me pretty close to where we were at before it crashed. I drove up to where I crashed, and I crashed again. So I restarted the game, deleted that video, or that segment, that part, and then I flipped a complete U-turn. It was a 4-lane with a center turn lane, so it was a lot of room. So I turned around and went back and took the road that I went to go get fuel on, and went down that road and went through town. No issues, none whatsoever. We got to turn here. I think we're gonna pop in this fuel stop. Yeah, we'll pop in this fuel stop here. Grab some go-go.
Turn left.
So I ended up getting the video done, the run done, and all that stuff. The one that I did to Effingham today, I ended up having to cancel the job because it kept crashing as soon as I would open the game. So where am I supposed to go into this place at? Here. Turn. Hit the curb, I know. Curb check. Curb is there. Yeah, I should have downshifted, but it's okay. Still kind of getting used to the wheel and pedals and shifter and all that stuff. It's not as buttery smooth as I would like. And it's just the way the mechanics of it is. It's not the wheel itself. I apologize if you hear a whistling once in a while. That's my drink cup. I'm using an insulated cup now. I have a spot where I set my drink on the table, and oh, how cute. And when I would bring drinks in here, if it was sodas, the fizz, it got all over everything. And I was doing some cleaning and working on the other computer and saw all the fizz everywhere. It was all over the speaker and everything. And I was like, nope, that's it, I'm done. So now I'm using a cup with a lid on it. Unfortunately, it's got a little breathe hole on it that it whistles sometimes when I take a drink. I'll try to remember to drink a little slower. I'm not trying to full force it. But yeah, it's been a heck of a thing, you know. And you know, when there's updates, there's always issues with mods and things like that.
Turn right.
So it's just, you never know. I honestly thought that when it first did it, I honestly thought it was the real company mod.
Turn left.
I feared that usually with an update, especially when a map is coming out,
Keep right.
they'll add new depots in for people to pick up and deliver at,
Turn right.
specifically for the map that's coming out, but they'll integrate it into other segments of the map of the game somewhere else. And just one example would be the Walbert, which is a parody of Walmart. Initially, Walbert, when it was built for the game, it had like a food market, and then it had a food warehouse, and then it also had a general goods store and a general goods warehouse. So it had 4 pieces to it, and I don't know exactly when. I'd have to go back and look through all the notes, but they eventually cleared it down to just a market or a store that did all in one, kind of like a supercenter does. And they did away with the extra warehouse, so they went down to 1 store and 1 warehouse, so just 2 instead of 1. But at the same time, they'd also introduced a grocery chain called Eddie's, and Eddie's replaced a lot of these smaller Walmarts. So if they when they bring something new in, sometimes they'll add it to other parts of the map and rebrand stuff, so to speak, to give it more of a footpath, I guess you could call it. So I know I'm blabbering about that, but just kind of what they do and such. So I honestly thought it was the real company mod, because I'm able to see actual real US brands instead of the I guess we'll call them fantasy brands, made up brands. So but yeah, so I thought it was that, but it wasn't that. It ended up being something I didn't even think it was going to be. I honestly thought it was something wrong with this truck, because I was running this truck with a in-game trailer, kind of like I'm doing with this load here, because this is an in-game trailer too, and it crashed in Spokane right when I came into town. So not sure what's causing it, but do know it's that's causing it. So I let them know that I was having issues with it, and you know, they could do what they need to do. A lot of people so far have done it the same thing. They've disabled that mod, the Record DLC, and the convoy fix for it. Anyhow, back to Illinois. After I kind of got over all the hiccups that I was running into, I finally got to cruise around Illinois, and so far I've been enjoying it. As you can see, I've been down this way, going the opposite direction there to Quincy, and I actually went from Chicago to Rockford, and then Rockford down to here. Now we're going back to Rockford. So we'll see where we're going from there. I got a couple cities I want to open up, but I want to get deliveries into them if I can. But if I pass through, it is what it is. But yeah, overall, I'm actually enjoying it. It's actually pretty nice. When I went through Chicago, if you're not from the US, and you may not get it, but in Chicago, there's a segment highway. It's for, I think it's Interstate 80. No, not Interstate 80. Interstate 94 and I think one other highway. Well, 57 dead ends into it. Oh, we got to turn here. Let's go down here.
Exit right.
So anyways, it's also named the oh good lord, now I'm gonna the Ryan. It's got a couple other names too, but Ryan is one of the shorter names. And when I rode down that going into Chicago, I mean, it almost looked spot on. I kind of had to look and make sure I was still in my room here and not actually in a big truck, because it looked that close. So, and it had a pretty good feel to it, and I didn't have any frame issues that much going through there, which was surprising. A lot of cities I have problems with framing, especially at night with all the city lights, and I got my truck lights on and stuff. It's just hit and miss on the city, and I'm having an even worse problem in Euro Truck Simulator as well. Both of them with the 159 update, they changed the way that the page buffer works, and most of you probably aren't familiar with that, but if you are familiar with it and you use the page buffer, I'm going to tell you right now, reduce it back down to 10. Now I got a friend of mine that's running his at 20, and he said it's working very nice. But then from everything I've been reading and seeing on videos and stuff, they're saying to turn it back down to 10, which is the default. SCS Software has also said that they are actually going to completely get rid of the page buffer system. So it's going to be a no longer needed system. And the reason that you would turn up the page buffer is if you had a lot of mods, and especially for heavy mods, mostly if you were running a lot of map combos. I'm sure you've seen people doing videos on those, and I'm tempted to do map combos again. It's been a long time, but I said I'd never do it again, but I don't know, it just seems like fun to be able to do something a little bit different now and then. Anyhow, if you're running like map combos or a lot of trucks, like we're running a bunch of trucks and trailers that are mods. I'm trying to think, let me see here. We got the Highway Killer, which is a Kenworth W900. This truck, which is a Peterbilt 362 cab over. We'll also have the Freightliner Classic XL. The Peterbilt 389 glider, which is kind of cool because you can either do a 389 or a 379. It's two different variations. And then we have the USA trailer pack, which I think has 5 trailers. We got tanker, flatbed, refrigerated, lowboy, and cattle trailer. So that's 5. I don't think I'm missing any of those. Then to add on top of that, we have the Ram Hotshot truck with its trailers as well, you know. And then we have some other stuff in here. We've got a couple different engine mods or mod packs, and I don't think we got the transmission one in here yet. We've talked about it. And then, you know, the GPS mods, and it adds up pretty quick. So when you're running a lot of mods, you have to turn up that page buffer, is really what it comes down to. But now the rules have kind of changed on that. You don't have to do that no more. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe there's some fine tuning that SCS needs to do with the way graphics are working to really fine tune it, make it look better and work right. If you're having issues with frame rates, a couple of tips I can give you. And this works in both ETS and ATS, so basically the same game in a sense. The first thing is mirrors. All right, so we got a door mirror on my left and obviously my door mirror on the right. I don't think I can remove them. Normally you can anyways. They're always there. So on some of the trucks you have like hood mirrors, and over the passenger door you have what they call the side mirror. Every mirror on a vehicle has to render what's behind you basically. And so every mirror that's multiplied in rendering. So you have your rendering going forward and then your rendering behind you and several mirrors. So if you're having issues with your frames doing goofy stuff, reduce the amount of mirrors you have. I know that it's realistic and you really want them. But I recommend that you go down to just as few mirrors as you can possibly get away with. And the other thing is to change your mirror reflections and turn them down low. If you notice that everything behind me disappears pretty quick, watch my right mirror in the top right there, and you see how quick things disappear. That's because I have it turned down, and lowering that also helps with that rendering stuff. It improves your frame rates. Other than that, making sure you got your mod order in the correct order and you're not putting things where it doesn't belong, more or less. So just kind of pay attention to things like that. If you're new to the mods, I'm sure everybody knows about the mod order, but if you're new to it, then you might want to do a little bit of Google researching to understand how that works. and go from there. Looks like we got to keep left this time. All right, going somewhere different.
Keep left. And then exit left.
So that's the main things, the main tips I can tell you. Other than that, change one setting at a time. Drive for 5 or 10 minutes. If you're really having problems, say in the city, deliver your load, don't book another load, and just bobtail around and keep tweaking your settings until you finally get it to do what you want it to do. It's time consuming. It sucks. I mean, like today I was going through mod after mod after mod, adding one or two at a time to see what was breaking, and then I finally found the culprit. You know, it's what you have to do sometimes if you want to be able to play the game and it be smooth and enjoyable. Because the whole point of playing a game is to have something to enjoy, not something that makes you mad and frustrated all the time. Of course, I say that, and I played World of Warcraft for many years, and you talk about raid nights, I got mad all the time. That's another story for another year, I guess.
Exit right.
Yeah, just things like that. Keep in mind that if you are running mods and when updates come out, it will break mods. The question is what mods will it break? Oh, check that guy out. Oh, they're riding out. There's like a Can-Am or something. I have traffic off, as you noticed, but if they're not on the street, I guess you still see them.
Keep left. And then turn left.
So yeah.
Turn left.
Turn here.
Keep right. And then continue straight. Continue straight.
See how bad this place is.
Keep left. And then turn left.
I try to do the skilled parking when I can. I've been pretty lazy here lately. But sometimes the skilled parking, it makes no sense why, you know, it would have me park the way it has me park sometimes. In the real world, you wouldn't, in the US at least, you wouldn't blindside unless you absolutely had to, or you was driving, say, a day cab. But on here, it seems like about all the skilled parking is in the dumbest places in the world. It would be okay if it was every now and then, but it seems like it's a pretty regular thing. Then sometimes the places they have you park too doesn't make sense for what you're hauling. Like this here, I'm gonna drop the trailer. So you would think that, you know, this is their trailer, I'm leaving the trailer behind, it would go in this parking lot to my right here. But it's not the way they have it programmed, and I get it that, you know, it would take a lot of programming to do all that. But what I find odd is that it will probably want me to back into a dock door up here with a flatbed trailer, whereas when I'm pulling a refrigerated trailer or one of these dry van trailers, it'll want me to park, you know, beside the building somewhere. Yeah, see, gonna have me back into a dock door, and it's blindside. We'll give it a try. I'm not a fan of blindsiding. It's just not practical. So we'll see what happens here. At worst case, I just half park it and let them finish it. You're over here. Oh yeah, I'm off. I'm way off. I'm real way off. They're happy with me parking it like this, so guess what? That's how they're getting it. So, oh, use the keyboard. Let's see how we did here. And some XP, not like I needed or anything, but yeah, 13 grand. Not a bad little deal. So let's now that we're unhooking this trailer, let's move here at least. I'll just park right about here. So, all right, guys. So that's pretty much that. It's a pretty decent little run, though. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, Illinois is looking pretty decent. Got some really nice areas, and I'm just barely scratching the surface because if we look at the map here real fast, I mean, I've got a whole lot of exploration to do. There's viewpoints and camera things everywhere. So there's a lot to explore and do, which I have a lot to explore throughout the whole game. A lot of roads in between. So, uh, so yeah, I got plenty to do on here. The question is, when do I want to do it? So, and I had most of this, I had a lot of this opened up down here in Louisiana, but when I had that crash, I lost that save. So, anyhow, guys, we're going to call it there, and you guys have a good one. We'll see you later.